Good morning, welcome again to another edition of the GDFL Footy Show on Channel 31 on a beautiful Saturday morning. Yes, we're back, we've had our Easter break, we've had our Easter eggs. I don't look like I've had too many. You want to see Jason though, I think he had about the whole lot of them at the Easter house, but it was a great weekend and of course we had no footy last weekend, but we're back again this week with a great round of football, including a replay of last year's grand final. But more to say about that very, very shortly. But with me doing all the talking, once again, I've assembled some of the biggest names and brains, apart from Jason, of course, to do all the talking again on Saturday morning. And, of course, good morning once again to Dale Smith. G'day, Dale.
Yeah, good morning, Dick. And back again, looking forward to getting back into it after a weekend off. It wasn't too enjoyable, actually. I had to do a bit of work around the house. So.
Did you get away? Oh, you didn't get away. You did some work around the house.
Work around the house. It's had 6 months off trying to get it done, but it didn't get it done. But now footy season's around, it's a bit more pressure.
Unbelievable. The lovely ladies that we're married to, as soon as there's no footy on, they have a list of jobs all mapped out for us. It's unbelievable. And good morning, Jason. How are you today?
Good morning, Easter egg. How are you? You do look like an Easter egg.
You're doing those great gags. I always remember Hartley Cooper said I look like a big Christmas pudding, but that's another story again.
I'm good, Dick. How are you?
You had a great weekend?
I think so, from what I can remember.
And lovely Lee and the kids all great weekend? Put your laugh like
I suppose they did.
Obviously, she's not going to be watching this morning because you just laughed at your own wife. Now, that's unbelievable. We've got a special guest also this morning, which we will now introduce to you. And we brought him off the bench from the Thompson Footy Club, previous successful coach at South Barwon, of course. But last year at Thompson, first year as successful premiership coach. I speak, of course, of Glenn Wallace. Good morning, Glenn.
Morning, Dick. Nice to be here, mate.
It's nice to have you here, and of course I say that with the greatest sincerity, being one of the great fans of the Thompson Footy Club, the Violet Crumbles. I got it out. There you go, Mitch. I got it out again. Glenn, tell us a little bit about yourself, and when you came to Thompson, what was the transition like to come from basically coaching a GFL side into the GDFL?
Look, I relished the role at Thompson. I probably, at the end of my career at South Barwon, I thought that as a player I was losing my effectiveness, I suppose, and as a coach I thought that I still had a little bit to prove. Of course, coaching at South Barwon, I coached jointly with Dale Amos, so of course he's gone on to be a magnificent coach and coaching our Geelong VFL side at the moment. So I felt that I had a little bit to offer still, and Thompson were good enough to give me that opportunity, and it all went well last year, so thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Glenn, there's been a fair bit of talk of pre-season, the players leaving the club, and I suppose you looking through the side last week, and I know I spoke to you off air, there's a lot of hype gone from your side, and I suppose on the other side of things, is there many players come in with that hype to back up those blokes that have left?
Yeah, look, there has been a fair change in our on-field setup. We've lost 6 premiership players from last year in total, which is a fairly big changeover. Having said that, we've had probably 3 players resume their careers with the club after having a bit of an exodus. And we've also picked up 3 or 4 really handy recruits. One of those probably in the height department, Adam Vaughan, formerly of St Joseph's. I think he's going to hold down centre half back really well for us. So apart from that, I think for height we're looking okay.
And what were your expectations when you came to the league, Glenn, in terms of after playing the GFL, standard of footy-wise? What were your expectations and how did it match up when you actually played?
Yeah, quite honestly, I'd probably seen 4 or 5 GDFL games in the previous 3 years, I guess. I really didn't know quite what to expect. I think I was pleasantly surprised, though, and probably I felt there was a better competition than probably what it gets credit. Certainly the top 6 to 8 players in every single side are quality players and could play GFL senior football, no dramas at all. I think the difference between the top sides at GDFL level and the bottom sides at GDFL level is that bottom, I guess, 10 players. I think at the Thompson Football Club, all 21 players or 22 this year can really play the game. I think at some of the weaker clubs, perhaps they fall down in the last 4 or 5. So really pleasantly surprised. And I think the major difference is probably the work ethic and the commitment of players. And I think that's a really good thing about GDFL football is that it is still a quality competition, but just some of the really good players in the competition just can't afford the time to really put in football. Family and work commitments come first. So we have that problem. We have probably 5 or 6 regularly that can't train 2 nights a week. And look, there's no problems with that, provided they're communicating with me and they roll up and present themselves in a good condition. So
Glenn, you've come to a club that enjoys a lot of on-field success in the finals in local footy, and obviously a great win last year against Belpost Hill. How do you overcome the psychological hangover from coming from a great grand final win last year and keeping the boys motivated again this year?
Look, there's absolutely no psychological hangover for us. As we talked about, there's a little bit of a change in the group, in personality-wise, so it's important that we continue the culture of successful finals appearances. I think it takes a long time to establish finals experience and culture at a club, and luckily for us, and look, that was probably one of my reasons for choosing the Thompson Football Club. There is a really good tradition. There's some magnificent senior players that stand up and be counted when you really need to be. So, look, I don't think there's a problem at all. Our motivation's really high. We probably had a little bit of a flat pre-season early, but our last month has been really, really good, and I think we're ready to take on Belpost Hill today, which will be a great test for us.
I think someone mentioned, I think last week off air, they spoke about your coaching in pre-season games hasn't been all that good. Your record in winning pre-season games, I should say. So, but I just want to go back to that first question I asked you. You've lost a lot of players with experience: Dowie, Harriet, Vardy, Anderton. I suppose he's coming back very shortly. The players that have come into the club, are they give that experience? Are they young kids just coming up? Because I know kids will give you everything they've got, and probably what you lose in experience you gain with that extra effort that those kids will give you.
Yeah, we've probably got a combination. You're right. We're probably lacking a little bit of experience. Look, Tom Harriet, no question, provides excellent leadership for the club. We're working on him pretty hard. He's got a little bit of work to do. His fitness level's not quite there, but we're hoping that he will play a part this year. A few of the older guys have returned and are pretty keen and really trained hard. Rod Peacock in particular has come back and playing senior footy for us at the moment. Also, a couple of other guys returned to the club as well. Spuddy Armstrong will play his first game this year for the club. Didn't play at all last year. Perhaps played 2 or 3 games in the reserves, but never got serious. So he'll slot back into the lineup today as well, which will provide valuable experience. There's also Mark Henry, 2006 Premiership player, comes into the side. And Jason Daniels as well has returned from Western Australia. So there's a little bit of experience there, and so I think we do have a quality blend of older and younger guys.
Glenn, thanks very much for that great interview with the boys. Please stick around for the rest of the show, and we'd love to hear your opinion on a couple of the games. Probably know what you're going to pick out of Thompson and Belpost Hill, though. Everything's going well out there. You've got the big grandstand up there, the John Mitchell Pavilion, being erected as we speak. And is it just a social club, or is it players' change rooms?
No,
as well?
both players' change rooms have nearly been completed. They're looking magnificent. The actual club rooms are in the early stages at the moment, but I think it's going to be a nice little setup out there.
Look forward to getting an invitation to the opening. And of course, the 23rd of May, North Geelong and Thompson was my 49th birthday. I'm looking forward to that immensely. It'll be a great birthday.
49?
I nearly got away with that. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll talk about the big games on this afternoon. Back after this.
We are the Raiders from all around your